I never imagined that the woman I married would one day become the architect of my own humiliation. My name is Benjamin. For 5 years I had believed that Sophia and I were partners, allies, in life, building a home together, planning a future. I worked hard, provided for us, and invested not only in our house, but in our marriage. I thought trust and effort were enough. I was wrong. It began subtly, a laugh at my expense during dinners with friends, a sly comment about my job delivered in front of strangers as if to highlight my failures. Sophia had a way of turning even small mistakes into performances, and I, trying to be calm and understanding, dismissed the early signs. I thought patience would win, that my quiet strength would be enough to weather her moments of cruelty, but the teasing escalated. At a colleague's party, she mimicked my gestures and laughed as if the room agreed with her assessment of me. I felt the sting, not just of embarrassment, but of betrayal. She was supposed to be my partner, not my tormentor. The private jokes became public displays. Friends, co-workers, even neighbors became witnesses to her manipulation. Sophia's eyes sparkled as she orchestrated it, enjoying every glance, every chuckle, every flicker of discomfort she could provoke. I tried to speak up once, calmly. I asked her to consider how her actions felt, to remember that marriage wasn't a stage for one person's amusement. She turned it into another joke, of course, a story she retold at gatherings, ensuring my name was associated with foolishness. That was the moment I realized that reasoning with her would not work. She thrived on public reaction, feeding off the approval of others while belittling me. Instead of reacting with anger or confrontation, I decided to focus on control in the only place that truly mattered, myself. I stopped chasing her. Approval, I stopped performing for her. Laughter, I invested my energy in things she could not manipulate: my work, my fitness, my financial independence, and, most importantly, my mental clarity. I began to reclaim my time, my space, my identity, and my dignity. The first few weeks were the hardest. Sophia mocked my new attitude, calling me aloof, distant, and cold. But I didn't falter. Each day I quietly improved my life in ways that mattered. Personal growth she could neither touch nor twist into ridicule. Little by little, I built momentum, a life that no longer depended on her validation. She watched it happen, the sparkle in her eyes fading, her smirks replaced by frustration. The same energy she had used to control me now turned inward, a reflection of her own inability to keep me small. Weeks passed, and the difference in our household became obvious. Sophia still tried to provoke me in small ways, a sarcastic remark here, a mocking tone there. But I no longer responded the way she expected. Silence, composure, and measured actions replaced my old reactions. The laughter that once fueled her seemed to falter now, replaced by confusion and frustration. She realized I had stopped being predictable. It wasn't just about ignoring her. It was about building a life that she could not diminish. I poured more energy into my work, started running again, and reconnected with old friends who respected me. Each success, each small victory, no matter how private, chipped away at the control she thought she had. I could see it in her face. The envy, the irritation, the disbelief that I could thrive while refusing to be her. Punching bag. Then came the turning point. Sophia invited friends over for a dinner, expecting the usual dynamic. Me, apologetic, nervous, awkwardly trying to entertain while she stole the spotlight. I walked in confident, composed, and ready. She greeted me with a teasing smile, but I met it with calm and quiet acknowledgement. The room noticed immediately. This wasn't the same man who had been so easily mocked. My presence alone disrupted her narrative. During the evening, Sophia attempted a few jabs, but they fell flat. I didn't defend myself. I didn't laugh nervously. I simply let the humor fade into silence. Her friends noticed the shift too. The laughter that once echoed at my expense now stopped mid-chuckle. The dynamic had changed, subtly but unmistakably. She tried again, louder. This time, but I stayed composed, confident, and in control of my own story. By the end of the night, the air was different. Sophia's frustration was visible, her usual energy of mockery, replaced with irritation she couldn't mask. I had reclaimed my presence, my authority, and my dignity without a single dramatic outburst. The lesson was clear. Respect cannot be demanded through ridicule, and control cannot be maintained through humiliation. I went to bed that night with a sense of quiet triumph. Sophia still shared the space, still laughed at her own jokes, but she knew the rules had changed. I was no longer the man who could be controlled. Through embarrassment, I had found a way to rise above, to turn her mockery into motivation, and to rebuild my life on my terms. The shift wasn't immediate for her, but it was irreversible for me. In the following weeks, the change became permanent. Sophia tried smaller manipulations, a pointed glance, a teasing remark, but each attempt was met with calm, measured composure. She could no longer provoke the reaction she had relied on for years. I had shifted the dynamic without confrontation, without humiliation, simply by reclaiming control of my own behavior and my own life. I devoted myself to building a stronger, more fulfilling existence. I reconnected with passions I had, neglected, strengthened friendships, and invested in my health and career. Each improvement wasn't just for me. It was proof that my life did not depend on Sophia's validation or approval. Every success, every smile of genuine satisfaction subtly reminded her that her attempts to diminish me had failed. The true impact became evident during a family gathering. Sophia, as usual, tried to be the center of attention, cracking jokes at my expense in front of friends and relatives. I simply observed, calm and unshaken, responding only when necessary, and always with clarity and dignity. The laughter that had once empowered her fell silent. For the first time, she realized that her mockery no longer had control over the room, and certainly not over me. Liam, too, noticed. The stepson, who had once eagerly mimicked her behavior now, approached interactions with caution. The unspoken lesson was clear. Respect and composure cannot be forced, but they can be asserted. I didn't gloat. I didn't publicly humiliate Sophia. And I didn't let anger dictate my actions. Instead, I focused on myself, my growth, and the life I wanted. That focus alone transformed our home. The tension that had haunted us dissolved, replaced by a balance built on mutual recognition of boundaries. Sophia's energy, once sharp and manipulative, dulled in comparison to the steady presence I had cultivated. Over time, she became visibly frustrated, her attempts at control ineffective, her irritation previously directed outward, turned inward as she realized that the man she had mocked had not only endured but flourished. My life had improved, my confidence strengthened, and my dignity restored. I had turned her mockery into motivation, and in doing so, reclaimed every aspect of my personal power. The most important lesson I learned, and the one Sophia could not deny, is that no one can control you unless you allow it. Silence, composure, and a focus on your own growth are more powerful than any argument, insult, or public spectacle. I had found my own way to fight back, not with anger or theatrics, but with action, resilience, and self-respect. And as Sophia's frustration grew, I knew one undeniable truth. She could mock, she could tease, she could try to diminish me, but she could never take away the life I had rebuilt, the authority I had reclaimed, and the respect I had earned for myself.